Hello guys, so are we live guys? Everyone, can you watch us? Yep, I guess we are live. Hello guys. Yep, so we are live, I guess. So hello guys, welcome everyone to ShilpoSphere. I guess me being the design lead from 2023. So I have been waiting for the first design event, and it is almost 2 years that GDGHITK has a design event because every time the design lead is so much caught up in making the designs of other events that we don't get to take a session. So here we are, and today I have Arunima Datta, the design lead of GDGHITK 2026, with us. So, guys, can in the chat I can see how much you are excited because we have a design giant with us today coming up. So, he's huge if you guys have checked his social media. So, he's huge. So, are you guys excited to learn a lot of things from him? Because me personally, I kind of idealize that person. So, I also have a lot to learn from him today. So, yep, guys. Arunima, you can also hop in.
Hi. Thank you so much, Mohit Bhaiya, for the introduction. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Very good morning to all of you. I'm pretty sure all of you are very excited for today's session. I am just seeing the live chat. People are asking that there will be a lot of important notes and prompt idea about system design. So, yeah, I see the excitement in the live chat, and that's pretty much that I wanted for the session to happen. Firstly, we wanted it for an offline event, but it's all right. Uh, though it's an online event, we have a big tech giant with us. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Can we just roll over the slides? Okay. So, first off, who am I? As already mentioned, I am Orunima Dotto, the design lead of GDG Heritage Institute of Technology for the tenure 2025-26. And what a year it has been. It was full of ups and downs. I have learned a lot of skills in this designing domain from being here. So all the first years who are watching this, the second years who are aspiring to join this club, please fill out the forms. It's trust me, it's something you want to experience in your college life once at least. And moving on from that, design lead comes with a nickname. The poster maker of the club. I am much sure that a lot of designers hear about this. That अरे ये तो सिर्फ पीपीटी ही बनाती है, posters ही बनाती है. But trust me, it is kind of true. But my team and I are responsible for a big motive apart from this. So apart from the static digital content that goes up on the socials of this community, it's there's a lot more to it. For example, if a domain mentor comes up with an idea for a session, we are responsible for designing the entire experience of the audience, from the banners to posters, then the cutouts, how the decoration would happen, how the domain mentor wants the audience to perceive the event, the entire experience. So I like to call my team as the experience providers of the community. Shout out to all the designers that are present in my design team. I'm super proud of all of you. Moving on, can we have the next slide, please? Ha. So let's talk a bit about Shilposphere. So, quick shout out to Alok Bhaiya, our tech lead, for coming up with the name. Um, what we thought, what was our thought process behind this event? We wanted to portray the evolution of the design that has taken place over the years of human existence. Um, as you can already see in the poster as well, we have kind of morphed the architectural old buildings, paintings from there, to the digital art. So that's the theme of today's. And if we talk more about it, just to give a quick glimpse of how this evolution happened, we all know that humans started drawing before they could even speak. But if we talk about structured designing, a major shift happened during the 15th and the 16th century, the Renaissance period to be precise. Buildings were no longer just shelters, they were living art in front of them. Kudos to the people who made those designs at that era without the modern technology with them. So kudos to that. Can we move over to the next slide, please? Yeah. So then we have our industrial revolution during the 18th and the 19th century, where mass production happened. New printing techniques came out, and I feel that that is the beginning of the machine produced designs. It was uh, earlier it was more about hand drawn, handmade drawings and designs, and now we got a kind of automation in it, not precisely automation, but machine have made the things very super quick for us. Then we have the birth of graphic style. Can we please move over to the next page? We have graphic style in 20th century, the Art Nouveau movement that gave us beautiful organic forms, and this style was heavily used for book covers and posters. It was like a classic of graphic design. Still now it is maintained in a lot of design aspects if we see the modern design schemes. Then fast forward to 1990s, we hit the digital revolution, where we finally got computers, where design took over the screens of the computers. So we got our first user experience. Can we have the next slide, please? We got our first user interface and web design was born. And over to the next slide. Now we are using modern design schemes. A lot of different aesthetics have been collaborated to create the entire process we use today. So there's a lot of talk about that. So before we get to our first surprise, sorry, Mohit Bhaiya is a buzzkill. He has already informed all of you about who is coming today. But trust me, we have a lot of surprises. So stay till the end. So before we get to our first surprise, I just want to give a very quick overview of what designing is actually today. So, in recent times, it's not just about making good prints. Graphic designing is just one part of it, but we have UI UX design, interior and spatial design, and then we have. Can we move over to the next slide, please? We have product design, motion design. The scope is really huge. So if we talk more about on all those things, next slide, please. Yeah. So we are in the next slide. I'm sorry, there's a bit of lag that is happening. Yeah. Anyway, just let's just get into a bit of the live chat. Yeah, I can see a lot of excitement out there. You are there's newbie. Obviously, there are first years. There are different students from university, and yeah, there's a lot of excitement that is happening out there. So yeah, that being said, let's talk about how do we make this design stand out. What is the secret to making it pop? That comes down to design principles. If we just quickly we can roll over, we can't wait for the surprise, that the special element uh, of our evening, of this evening. Things like there are contrast, we have emphasis, we have balance, we have scale and proportion, and we have white space usage, which kinds of collaborate the entire design principles that helps making designs a bit better, a lot better, if I say. Honestly, when I was in my initial days of designing, I don't used to follow all this stuff. I used to just go about the fields that were there. But then again, we came up with these design principles. My seniors recommended it to kind of learn all these things. So I learned a bit about them, and now I feel my designs have improved over the time. So thanks to those seniors as well. Uh, can we just move over to the design trends slide, please? Design trends slide, if I am sure. Yeah, we were talking about contrast and white space. I just didn't want to elaborate the entire thing. We have here white space. Can we have the next slide, please? Yeah. So the must know of the design trends of 2026, uh, 3D and immersive elements have been taking all over the internet. I feel if you don't know Blender a bit nowadays, if you don't know how to use plugins in your website, like Shatcn, if I am being specific, there are a lot of 3D elements that you can make using 3JS. So if you use all this stuff in your website, it kind of gives you a very immersive feel, and that is a very eye-catching trend in 2026. Then we have neomorphism, which again talks about the smooth gradient and the smooth texture of the screens of the design scheme. So that being said, we have neo-brutalism. Can we move over to the next slide? Which is almost like an anti-design. It is very raw, very bold, and then there is minimal maximalism, which is also a great direction for any modern designer to explore. I mean, there are if I get a matlab, 3 years 3 hours time, I could rant about all the design schemes that are going on in the design area aspect today. But yeah, that being said, we are very short of time today. We have a time crunch. And now if we talk a bit about AI, so we can't talk about modern design without talking about AI, right? So AI is completely changing how we create. It's just not a trend. It's a tool that we can collaborate with to enhance our workflows. And to talk exactly about that, we have someone very special joining us today. Yes, drum rolls. We have the secret out here in open. Our guest speaker, Mr. Sujit Kumar Pradhan. Sujit sir is currently an AI product designer at Google, and he brings years of experience from leading global companies including Microsoft, Amazon, and uh, he's known for crafting intuitive AI designs and human centered digital experiences. Sujit sir has worked on innovative product ranging from agentic systems to AI tools and to large scale user platforms. We are so thrilled to have him with us. I guess the tech lead could finalize if he's with us in the live or not. Mohit Bhaiya, Alok Bhaiya, if somebody of you is there present. Oh, damn, 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 damn. I made it a time crunch for like to give the more part to Shujit sir, but then again he's not joined yet. So let me just quickly text him. Yeah. So if we talk more about the design principles, yeah. So can we go for the first slide of design principle? Yeah, balance. So what do we mean about balance? It's basically if we do over of anything in a design, it kind of yeah, sir is there. So yeah, I knew I had to cut this part off. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the podcast. How's your day going? Damn. So, as you can see, we have a live audience of about a lot of people are joining. A lot of people are excited. If you are seeing the live chat, I believe if anybody of you have any kind of queries, please feel free to ask here. That being said, sir, I guess we are good. Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that I'm also checking. I guess the tech team is doing the part. Okay. So welcome again, sir, to the
Thank you.
podcast. So before we start, I just want to ask you one question. It is like it's my out of own personal curiosity. How one day of your life at Google feels like you had work today as well, sir. I
Yeah.
believe.
So
So
if I say it's a very fun one day, it'll be pretty wrong. I think it's a mix of it. Some days are pretty hectic versus some days are pretty chill. That kind of thing. It's more about how the work is going. Um, like on a day-to-day basis, we definitely have like projects and all which we keep on working on. And these are like in progress projects and those kind of a thing. It depends on how do you manage your day. So I usually answer this question by not saying that you should not ask somebody, a designer, that how a day looks like, but you can ask how a week looks like or how a month looks like. That's a better way of doing. But I would say, yeah, it's pretty balanced for me. I think working over here, you figure out your uh, tips and tricks to work and find out. Today, as I said, I was actually on leave yesterday, so today it's like everything jumps, and the next day you come from the leave, so that's why it's a bit kind of back to back. But yeah, I mean, so far it's good to there. So yeah.
damn. Um, so before we move forward, I was a bit stalking you, if I be a bit open to you. I saw that in your previous speaker sessions that you took, there your role was UX designer, and now you have changed it to AI product designer. Like, what's the difference between the two roles, and what does the role AI product designer actually means?
Okay. Great question. I think the role name keeps on changing. So maybe 2 years down the line, you will see a new thing. So I remember in kind of Amazon, we started with something called as visual designer. In the bracket, we used to write UXD. Then I moved to Microsoft, where we called as product designer. And in Google, we call as UX designer. But going forward, I know it will be maybe a AI product designer, or somebody call it as a builder kind of a thing. So it's keep on changing. But what I've seen is like last 6 to 7 years, like the core processes are changing. It's not that the value is changing as a designer. I don't think as a work, from a work perspective, nothing has been changed completely, but my processes has been changed. I still design those product, I still figure out what's the user problem, I still do those kind of thing. But how do I do those things keeps on changing, and I think the role defines. Maybe in future we don't have some kind of like role only given to a specific individual, but it's more of that what you are kind of things working on. That's what I have seen. So again, as I said, it's more of an official term which companies keep on doing. Like for Google, it's not actually a AI product designer, it's called as UX product designer, UX designer, sorry. And we have UX researcher. Whereas in Microsoft, you will see a lot of people called as product designer. Whereas in Amazon, again, it's a mix of both the thing. So it's more about I would see more from a policy perspective, but core role remains same all the places, most of the places, unless until you are completely into visual or something like UI design or something, or maybe a graphics design. Otherwise, the product design role remains same. That's what it's keep on changing. And you talked about AI and all. That's keep on basically coming into our workflows, processes. Those are the things changing. That's why if you see people started adding AI product designer, but yeah, because our workflows changing. So that's what I can say.
So, over to the next question that I have. Uh, AI, as you said, AI is incredibly ever evolving, like fast. It is so fast, it is changing so quickly. How much of your traditional tools did you have to throw out, and what remained timeless?
Okay, awesome. Great question. I think there are a lot of tools I have thrown out from the time I started designing. The first I remember, yeah, Photoshop was something where we used to design, we used to do a lot of red lines for a developer handoff. Then from we have seen something called as XD. I don't know again how many people have heard of these tools. Also, there are some tools which is like completely sunset. There is something called as XD, which was Adobe's product, which was there, and then again it was sunset. Then something called a Sketch. Sketch is one of the big tool before Figma, which was pretty common to be used. But again, as Sketch was very much compatible with Mac, and like it doesn't compatible with all the platform. It was a software, not a web platform. And then Figma came into the market. Again, Sketch goes off, tool goes off. Uh, if you see, there are different tools keep on coming, which is that there was something called as Marvel or Marvelin something, which we used to do a handoff to the developer. Zeppelin for a handoff. But right now, if you see, Figma have everything from the red lines to when you give it to a developer, it have a handoff mode, dev mode, call as dev mode. So things are getting integrated in the same tool. But the process still now from a UX point of view remains same in terms of we still find out a problem. We still find out figuring out a solution around it. We try to figure out whether the problem exists, what kind of problem exists, find out what's the core value into it, those kind of thing, research around it, and then basically design the architecture around, and then basically work on these tools. But that's what changed. Like a lot of tools keeps on coming going. You have heard of Stitch coming up again.
Hmm.
It's a very common tool by Google product. So it again does some kind of a UI. Figma have Figma Make now, which
Yes.
helps you to create prototypes. Figma is experimenting with a lot of AI tool inside Figma. um, I work as a beta user for Figma in terms of testing and all. So I know there are a lot of AI features going to come in future. Is there testing inside your design canvas? So if you see tool keep on changing, I had to learn new tool. I had to upgrade my skill set in terms of tool. But the core process, as I was talking about, from the problem to figuring out what like actually the user needs in the product and what makes sense to the user, still remains same. You cannot ask a tool or an AI or something, hey, this is the problem, tell me what should be the solution. It gives some kind of a random solution, or maybe it reads through some kind of a website or crawl through something like publicly data available and gives you some kind of a solution. But that doesn't mean that will fit to your user or your product or your company, that kind of thing. That's why I feel still that's why I exist. Otherwise I would have not been exist today. But I still exist because of those kind of things as a UX designer. But yeah, that's what changed. Now we are being very fast with different kind of a AI integrated tool coming into place. We have stopped doing some traditional processes which was very manual and moving towards very AI native processes to make it faster. because now we have more work to do. As like people say that when AI comes, what should I do? Will it take my job and all those things? But I see AI is coming into the place where it will take your manual job. Definitely, it will definitely give you more creative work coming in the future, and maybe more work. It's a open door for a more work right now. Like as a designer, maybe I work on 5 project, that kind of a thing, because I'm working with different AI tool, that kind of a thing. But previously, because it was very manual, it may not be possible. That's how the tools are moving. So that's why I say that you have to learn, relearn, kind of a thing, unlearn and relearn. Very important thing which stays with me till now from the time I started my career, that I had to learn a new tool whenever it comes in the market, unlearn when a new tool comes, and relearn the new tool to figure out what's the next thing. So that's there, but the core fundamental of UX remains it.
I get it. I get it. So one thing, just I just want to know that being a designer, you said that there's a lot of research that comes up with the designing part. So could you just elaborate more about the research part of the design um, essence that you do? Like, what is your design ideology? Like before you start off in a blank canvas, what do you think? Like how the things goes on?
Yeah, I think research is one of the important part in design processes. It still remains relevant. The only thing is how it's done. So, for example, in Microsoft, um, being a product designer, I had to work on the research as well as the design. Whereas in Google, we have dedicated UX researchers. So that's also a helpful part, because now I can offload certain things to the research who are very expert in terms of taking interview, maybe a focused group or survey, those kind of thing, which is a very detailed research. Whereas in Microsoft, we had to do it in parallel with the design work. Now, research is actually a core fundamental before you start designing, because that gives you kind of a signal that where exactly you need to design. Otherwise, if I just start designing, then I have thousands of idea to design the same thing, in like solving the same problem. The question is how, what exactly is kind of right or useful for the user, or maybe user will accept it. That's something we get signal at a very UX point of view, UX research point of view. Also, we try to figure out insights around it. So one of the best thing I've seen is, if you people are thinking that it's a very, in industry we get a problem and then we work on the solution, that's actually not the path. It's more of that when you get the problem, you validate the problem. So it's not that always that's the problem which is present with the user. There can be underlining 5 different problem, there can be underlining a different problem which is triggering those kind of things. So UX research is actually a core process which helps us to surface those things, that why this problem is happening, what people are saying, what people are looking into. And that gives us, as a designer, for me to more confident to build around the UX architecture, that okay, this is I wanted to create, these are the kind of flows I wanted to look, this is how I wanted to solve, this is what users were talking into. Also, it helps us to prioritize. Like, you must have known the timelines we get, it's like yesterday always. It's not tomorrow, it's always yesterday whenever we get the deadline. So I think UX research is also helps in terms of prioritizing the task. You have 10 different things to do. It's very difficult to do all the 10
Yeah.
things at the same time. So it helps you to prioritize also what's important from a user lens, and how do you tackle those things one by one, those kind of things. So yeah, so that's the kind of thing what we look from the research. There are definitely a lot of other part insights which it comes from. So if you see a detailed report of a UX research, it's a very detailed report which we get. And then it also helps our stakeholder, the higher management, to give more confidence that we are not doing design blindly, but have some kind of a idea before we start designing. So investment is more, ROI returns is pretty high.
So the UX, before the UX part comes the UX researcher part, and they kind of do the make your job easy. If I
Yeah, yeah, I mean, definitely being a UX researcher, being in our team, definitely makes our job pretty easy. See, technically all fall under UX. Again, I personally don't know how to segregate it. Now it became my daily part of the job, and like kind of a process how we work. It starts with the problem. We basically engage with the UX researcher together, figure out what to do, what kind of thing needs to be done. The US researcher do more kind of a maybe interview, or what kind of, like, again, interview is a very common thing which maybe people have heard that a UX researcher do. But there are a lot of different things, from a survey to a focus group study to understanding the current behavior. So there are a lot of methodologies which they follow to give us insight, and that's where basically helps me to set up the fundamentals and work on the design.
Okay. So, from a college student perspective, if somebody is aspiring to be a designer, like how he or she should like make these paths, like how he or she should consider these paths. What are the exact things that he or she should learn before like taking up designing as a career? What do you recommend?
Yeah, I mean, I know I usually stay. Obviously, we in India right now, the knowledge around designer is keep on growing. Like, how do we? I know there was a time when people used to say engineer and doctor. That's it. That's the only career path we have. But now I know that design is evolving. We have colleges, great colleges in India, and I know as soon as I say, then the problem is you go and check my background. I am not a design student. So the thing is, I always keep on saying it's not that one shoe fits for everybody. You need to figure out what works for you. Definitely I am a self-learned designer, but that comes with a lot of pros and also cons, like maybe more cons, which was like figuring out what happens in the design world, how the design works. I learned on the job, doing on the project, those kind of thing. But maybe if you come from a college, you know some methodologies, some ideas, basically the groundwork kind of already have been done, which is there. And if you are a very fresh, like coming out of the college, and if you're an engineer, maybe you are not a designer and you want to be designer, definitely look into perspective of going for maybe a higher studies into design, and figuring out that, okay, because that's the best time. People say no, let me do the job for 2 years and then I'll come back, do masters. I tried the same thing. I was never able to go back. It's slightly difficult. Again, it's my personal experience. Maybe if somebody thinks it works for them, they should definitely try that. But we have definitely masters as well as bachelors right now, which is kind of a design degree, which is there. And it's well known. There are great colleges coming up, reputed colleges, and tying up with all these companies. Like, in engineering, from college, different big companies keeps on hiring. Now it happens with design colleges also. So do some kind of a research around where, what kind of design you. So again, we are talking today about product design, but there are a lot of different design
Yeah.
lines which is there. It's not that you have to be a product designer always. There are different parts to it. So figure out that, first of all, find out what the college is there. uh, Only finding out the colleges is not that I will get an admission, but definitely they also have exams. Like, it's exactly like how engineering works. It's a very
Yeah.
common process, well known. Whereas design is like evolving process, people will get to know. But that's my suggestion. But if you're being like, I want to learn by myself, uh, definitely there are enough resources present in the market. I feel like, have you ever gone to YouTube and searched anything and the video result is zero? I have never seen in my life. So I feel whatever you want to learn, there is enough free content available. It's more about how do you channelize and find out which is there. So you can definitely learn from there. But one of the best learning is maybe you figure out a kind of an internship, kind of a place, because on job training is the best training. Because when you work in very silo, or maybe hypothetical case study, in interview, the biggest challenge is like, how do I judge your skill set in terms of working with a PM or a developer, those kind of thing, which is a important, very important skill set, which is there. So that's why, that's my perspective when you're going for a self learning. um, I know there are a lot of boot camps present. There are a lot of things happening in the market. Again, it will be controversial if I go and say, "Ki, no, you should not do it." My thing is, definitely look into it. If you find it useful, do it. I never found those things useful for myself, rather than too much of investment for myself. And I was not in a state to do that during that time. So I started self learning, which is there. So But if you feel, but do ensure that you have an objective at the end of it, because at the end you will create some 2 3 case studies, but the question is, can you do it yourself seeing to YouTube? If yes, then maybe you can give it a try. If it doesn't work, definitely go for those kind of things. But if you're looking for a formal studies, I mean, great thing to do. Do explore. If you really want to be designed, first of all, you have to figure out you want to be designer. I think a lot of people are a bit influenced by the influencer, which is their job maybe. Even I do the same thing, putting some reel in Insta. I know everybody wants to come to Google and Microsoft and Amazon like company, but first find out whether you want to be a designer. Like for example, if you're a engineer, you don't have to move to design. If you are
Yeah.
very good in engineering, yes, great, great career around it. If you think no, no, design is a career where I'll get a job and all, uh, we are going into the state where we will be engineers, next engineers in future, which is there, like one job versus thousand or maybe lakhs of people standing, that kind of a thing. So do ensure what you really want to do. Don't go by understanding that a designer earn a lot of thing. Just to tell you, designer may earn a lot of thing in these big companies, but outside it's pretty difficult part, which is there for everybody, like engineers also, same, it's a similar, I see, role which is there. So yeah, definitely give it a thought before you commit to basically take that career.
Okay, so we have a question in the
Yeah.
live chat. Shubhodip Shaha, he is asking, he wants to know about the tech stacks for this field, like what he can learn to apply for these roles. Like, I guess he is an engineer,
Yeah.
if I'm not wrong.
Okay. Yeah. Coming to tech stack, see, for a designer, more than tech stack, I would say it's more of tools, which keeps on coming and going as I was talking about different tool. Right now, the most common is Figma, which everybody is using. Still, I don't know why the stocks are falling off Figma, but yeah, everybody is using Figma, which is there. But I know in future things are changing. Right. For us also, we started using something called as anti-gravity. It's a very big product of Google, which is there now. The thing is, we are working with Figma, MCP server, and anti-gravity to figure out how the design directly comes into a live rather than doing the traditional process of making the design. It's not Google, but every company is figuring out that. Yeah, people have heard of Cloud Code, Cloud Design, all those things which is there in the market. So uh, people are finding out the optimized way of designing which is there. Now from a tech stack, you need to first learn this basic fundamental, which is like definitely a Figma, or maybe how do you do research with different tools. What is the fundamental of research which is there, methodologies of research, or maybe design when you're making UX architecture, what are the things you need to put it in mindset. So that's important. Then basically learn something which we talked about, how's the market is moving. As we talked, there is Google doing a lot of research around it, Claude is doing a lot of research around it. So how do you use those tools to optimize your process? So that becomes your tech stack now, which is there going forward. And maybe 2 years down the line there will be a new tool. It's possible, which is there. Again, not 2 year, I'm saying a very big timeline. Seeing the market, it's every 6 months. Today we have the Google IO, you never know, something new come up over there, which is there. So yeah, I mean, tomorrow morning you hear something, a new tool, that's also possible. So that's how the market is changing. So your tech stack became more of what making sense for you going forward as a designer.
Yeah, so there's this one thing that I have personally faced when I started designing. There's already Nano Banana, then Claude Design has already take up the space. Chat GPT generates a lot of things if prompted correctly. So there's a lot of thing I feel that uh, we as young designers who are aspiring, uh, we don't get to learn all these things, like gradients, like illustrations, all these things. So how to, as a college student, what do you recommend, how to find a balance in all these things, like how to like learn all the AI tools, get to know all these AI tools, and then use them wherever
Yeah.
needed and not like anywhere
Yeah,
and
I mean,
everywhere.
That comes to a place where we basically call what's the human judgment over there. AI helps you to more from an optimization point of view, but human still remains at the creative core. One of the thing you talked about illustration, I remember. So if you go to my Insta, scroll down, I was a very big illustrator. I used to do illustration every weekend, kind of a thing. Now, my I don't have Illustrator installed in my system. So time have moved it. I moved to a different kind of a design maybe with time. If you're really interested into it, definitely it's there. Now the thing is, we talked about Nano Banana, Chat GPT. There will be lot of different model coming, but the question is, uh, does it gives you exactly what you needed or something very random? Those kind of thing. You need to figure out those, because still we have definitely illustration team and those kind of thing. But we know going in future maybe some of the role get dissolved. It happens from last 50 years. The challenge problem is with AI we are doing it fast. Maybe we have talked about copywriter, and I know a lot of talking around. So UX copywriting is a very important part of our, like how UX researcher we have UX copywriter. But the question is with AI, does AI helps you to do it, so that you need less of copywriter and maybe you can invest in some other places, those kind of thing. Yes, there are some roles which is merging going forward. So does illustration also looks like that? The question is, you have to figure out yes or no. Does Nano Banana gives you that kind of a result or control over each line stroke when you do? I don't know, people who have used Illustrator, they will realize that when you do a pen, you can actually move each of the anchor point to be a very specific curve. The question is, will you be able to have that control? I have not seen that control yet, which is there. um, that's how it's different. From a product design perspective also, as I said, the creative part still remains to me. How quickly I do, I use AI. Like for example, prototyping is the very difficult job, doing it in Figma, like connecting each of the anchor point, creating multiple screens, and also still you cannot do back and forth. Once the state is changed, it never, you have to refresh the prototype to make it work. That's where I think maybe this AI tool helps. Like for now, I'm using anti-gravity. It creates the prototype like in fraction of second if I connect with Figma MCP, and I can do on a live how it happens. Now that influence my stakeholder to accept my design faster, as compared to previously I had to explain the prototype so much. That's the job reduce. Now the question is, what the prototype should make, that still I am valuable as a designer to tell the AI that what should I need, what it needs to make it. So that's the difference which I see. Optimized process versus, so people call this AI enabled designer. I see this is where you are getting enabled with AI. And the question is, a lot of people like, no, I don't want to use AI will replace me tomorrow. My only thing is, AI will not replace you, but a designer who knows AI will replace you, definitely. Which is because they will be working faster. Creating prototype, it can happen. Like right now, maybe I can just talk to you in the live stream and still create a prototype in the background at the same time, so I can do more of the task which is there. So that's how the workflow is there. That's why I keep on saying that start using some tools which is there in the market, people are talking. Try to see if it fits into workflow. Don't force fit, because everybody is talking. Because I talk today, you have to use it, it's not like that. But find out if it's actually real making help. Previously, if I have an idea, I have to go to a developer, tell that, hey, I have an idea, can you make a working model of the same thing? Right now you are empowered, like I can do idea based prototyping and all. So that's how things are changing, and that's how roles will also keep on changing. I recently used a tool, I forgot the name. It creates illustration based on what you select on the live. It have a lot of permutation combination in the background. It creates amazing illustration. The question is, to do those things I would have taken like months and months of time. Now that's being done in maybe 1 week with the help of AI and those kind of things. So yeah, I mean, that's how I look into the roles evolving.
So we have a lot of questions that are coming up. But before that,
Yeah.
I just want to take a second to just ask you about the background.
Yeah.
Like live chat has been spanned with the fact that your background is super awesome. So could you just like explain like Are you a car fan? What's the inspiration behind
Oh,
the?
okay. Yeah, I'm a Lego fan. So all this
Okay.
you see in my background is actually Legos. And I like half of my salary goes into Lego. That's a very bad thing. But yeah, I think when I started using Lego, so one of the dream company, people talk about Google and Microsoft definitely, but one of my dream company, maybe if someday they come to India, is Lego actually, to work for them, because the way they do with physical product, I think it's one of the innovation I have seen. Like from a brick to what it
Yeah.
makes, that's a very interesting part, that you can make it in any structure, which is there with a very, very small brick. That's why I keep on collecting Lego. Make I have again multiple boxes, which is present. There are a lot of, it takes a lot of time, patience, but that helps me also in terms of creativity. I know a lot of digital product I keep on using, so I love this physical product, I say, to make it. So yeah, I mean, that's what my background is, you can see.
So can we have a look at your Noogler cap if you like? Can show the
I don't know, somehow that's an interesting question. Yeah, that's how it looks like. There is a
guys.
fan.
That's
I don't know.
some
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
motivation.
there is a fan. I can't fly with this, but yeah, this is how it looks like. It's a very interesting part of Google. I know it's a very fancy thing. It's the first thing you get once you join Google, but kind of a tradition which remains for a very long time, which is there. So yeah.
Moving on to the next questions. How do you justify? Like it's a question from the audience.
Yep.
Tathagato Dash. How do you justify human creativity when there is AI involved in its final output?
Yeah, I think one of the most important thing with AI output, I don't accept myself as AI output as my final output. I accept AI output as my building blocks. Again, we talked about Lego. So I
Yeah.
think making the bricks is how the AI is helping. I don't want to make the brick, but when I made the structure of the car, that's my creativity. I want to make a car. It should look like that. That's how the output of AI should look like. So that's why I said, don't go to AI and tell, yeah, this is my problem statement, fix it and give the solution for me. I don't want that. I help use AI to figure out where exactly, for example, I recently did an experiment. Everybody can try, definitely. Create maybe one screen in Figma, connect to Figma MCP server with Claude or anti-gravity, whichever it works, and then from there start working on different screens. So for example, you want pop-up and all. Today I don't want to do that in Figma. You already have a base screen. Now the AI technically knows what's present, which is there, and then create maybe pop-ups around it. That on click of this pop-up should come, on click of this pop-up should come. You can do it in Figma Make also. I forgot to mention, yes, Figma Make is a pretty good tool. Definitely try that. But now the thing is, when I have those things, I go to the user and show them, and that's how I collect feedback. Because before any design goes in live, we definitely have to connect with user, find out whether it's working or not. And I think it's the best thing to do, because they can actually click on the prototype, do the same thing, and give you feedback. Previously, if you make it Figma prototype, you know that it doesn't work as you want, which is there on a live version. So that's the difference of that. Once you are confident that okay, this is what the user want, I go back to the Figma screen and then start making it again, that kind of a thing. So which is that. So that's how it's kind of changing my process. So I'm not investing too much time till the time I'm confident about it that this is what I wanted to make as a final product. So AI gives that intermediate exploration products or iterations which is there. And then when I converge to more final product, that's where my human, as a UX designer, the creativity comes into picture, that what are the things needs to be put together, what are the things I got it from the user, and how the final product looks like. So that's how you maintain a good balance between use of AI and being a UX designer and human creativity.
Okay, so another question that has taken, I guess, so you have covered this. uh, rapid prototyping. What is your favorite like rapid prototyping tool right now? Are you like
I'm using anti-gravity, a long time fan of anti-gravity. Pretty powerful tool. I have used Claude, but the thing is, I don't know, somehow, maybe again, it depends on how good, like if you use a single tool every day, you will get to more, you are more aware of the tool, and it
yeah,
became more easier for you with time. Being in Google, we have anti-gravity, and the challenge is the token is the biggest challenge.
yeah,
If I use Claude or Figma Make, I know I'll ran away with kind of like after some time my entire token will be goes off. But with anti-gravity, I have definitely, because working in Google, we have unlimited tokens, so I can explore around things. So that's why it became my favorite tool right now in terms of prototyping. You can try Figma Make. I have tried previously. It does a pretty good job. So the difference between Figma Make and prototype anti-gravity, what I have seen is Figma Make helps you for a very good design in terms of
yeah,
prototyping, whereas anti-gravity is very good with functionality, which is there. So it's technically combined together. It's a very good tool. But maybe in future we'll have something like that where those kind of thing is there. But I think prototyping I need it for functionality perspective. That's why I rely more on anti-gravity than Figma Make, which is more of design, very much design oriented. So that's the difference which I've seen. But yeah, do try both and try to see what works pretty well for you. That will be an interesting part to explore and experiment.
okay. So, sir, one thing that I have been seeing, like right now you are in Google and like a lot of things are, you are well aware of. But back when you were a college student, were you a designer from that time? Like,
No, I'm a computer science engineer from college. I was pretty much into coding.
okay,
I used to create apps and all. I wanted my career in coding also. I did actually a job for around six,
yeah.
7 months as a front end developer and back, like full stack kind of a thing. So it's not that from college I was a designer.
So, how did that switch happen? Like, what
Yeah,
clicked?
interesting part. I think the I started designing because of money, to be very frank. In college, I started with print media. I used to design a lot of magazines kind of a thing, posters. I remember one of my senior told me that, hey, if you design this poster and all, you'll get some money. I'll give you some money, like 500 rupees something. That time it was pretty like pocket money. Obviously, I'll do that, that kind of a thing. And that's where my design journey started. But it was more into visual graphics, print media. I learned about magazine, how printing happens, magazine printing. I know the first time I designed the entire page. I went to the magazine place, they started printing, and the design went into the binding. I didn't realize that I had to keep a space for the binding which goes inside
Yeah.
it. So that kind of knowledge was not there. And I don't know if people have worked on magazine and all. Once the machine starts, it creates 100 page and then stops. Before that it
Yeah.
is not. So 100 page was waste day one. I was very much into like what exactly happened with me. That was the first kind of push which was there. Then I moved as a developer. I worked for pretty 6 7 months kind of a front end developer, doing pretty good. It's not that I was struggling with coding and all. But then I worked for a company like as a contractor, Musk Technologies, sorry, Musk Logistics. It's one of the biggest shipping logistic company in the world. So we were designing softwares for the dockyard kind of a thing, and I was
Okay.
one of the front end guy for their projects and all. I created pretty good front end, went to them, showed them. They rejected in the first go. I was very shocked about why the rejection happens. The design looks pretty good, better than their old system. And then I connected with the tester and got to know that the design I created would have invested, like kind of lost them around millions of dollars, because I made it pretty good. So in Docket, they don't use mouse, they use tab and move next, 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 and keep on
Mm,
filling. It's more of keyboard oriented. The design
mm,
I created needed a mouse. That slows down the processes and impacts in your total number of container being logged into the system, which is
mm,
technically a money of millions of dollars. That kind of impact, a small design change. That's when I thought I wanted to move to design. But being coming from a engineer background, it's difficult, it's challenging. That's why I said self-taught comes with a lot of challenge. I applied to multiple places. Nobody was accepted to like as a designer because I didn't had a degree. My portfolio was more into design, visual magazine, those kind of thing. So nobody was ready to do it. So I joined a startup. Like it's pre, I think it's around 2018, pre-pandemic, 2017 kind of a thing, where there are a lot of startup in Bangalore. I was in Bangalore, and they were fortunate to give me an opportunity that okay, you design as a join as a designer, you do both the visual work as well as they didn't had UX designer kind of as such. So they're like, if you want to try, definitely. So I did both the job for a couple of months, and
Okay.
then I kind of started learning it on the job. As I said, the CTO was
Hmm.
pretty happy with me, so he moved me. He's like, come to completely to the UX design, and that's why. But I still used to do front end coding there because I had a like background in Angular JS and React JS, kind of a thing. So used to do both the job all together. That's how the design started. And after 1.5 year, multiple tries in different company, then finally got a call from Amazon. Then actually the design journey started. But again, joining design like Amazon, it's not that immediately that design journey have started, but there was again a lot of learning curve. I say Microsoft is the place where I started more exponential growth in terms of product design. Before that, it was more of visual maybe or small product, those kind of thing. Amazon midway it's kind of changed for me, which is so that's how I moved to kind of complete product design.
So, like, you have worked in like three big MNCs,
Yeah,
like college students, like
yeah, I
they are
mean,
pretty.
it's again not that I wanted to. Fortunately, it happened that all the three companies back to back, it happened for me. I when the challenge is whenever I tried, I never get into this company. Somehow my resume got rejected. I never got to the interviews. So most unexpected time is the time when I got the call from the company that you want to give an interview or not. So I don't know what exactly aligned, stars aligned, I keep on saying. But yeah, it happened back to back, all the threes. So
Okay, so like, as I know, you are from Kolkata as well.
yeah,
So you keep coming back here, and like our city is a kind like, it keeps heritage intact.
yeah,
So there are a lot of Bengali art forms like Alpona. Then there's a lot if
yeah.
we talk about. So what do you think? Are they are like fading away? Like how can we like still keep on with these kind of art styles? What do you have an opinion on it?
Yeah. So, by the way, just a background. I was born in Kolkata. I stayed in Kolkata for 11 years. So, my learning language was Bengali, always. Now, my family have moved to Bhubaneswar, Odisha. But my like grandfather and all, still my home is in. It's called as Pashchim Medinipur, where it's there. But yeah, Kolkata. That's how it's close. I keep on coming. As you said about the culture, I think if you have seen now hand printed, for example, sari is more expensive than a
Hmm.
machine thing. That's how change things are changing. As soon as you have an automation, that became cheaper, and when it became more handcrafted, that became more costlier,
Hmm.
which is there. That's how I don't see it's fading away, which is there. It's more of that, how do we channelize one. I know one of my friend is working on startup into bringing those culture back to the people. So the thing is, how do you like bring? So I have seen most of this kind of hand printed things stays at a very regional places. It
Yeah.
never able to reach to the cities. That's why the challenge of not coming to a very common platform arises. So I know one of my friend, he's working on this kind of startup where it brings back to those values. And I think people still like it. I don't think people will be more into automation, those kind of things. So I don't think it's fading away. Like we talked about Lego, it's like a physical product. I love keeping those. It's not that everything is digital, which is there. So I don't think it's fading away. That's a very difficult skill set, by the way. It's not
Hmm.
that everybody knows. I know thousands of product designer, but I know very few people who works on those kind of art form. So that's the difference. That's a setting apart thing. My job is pretty easy, their job is pretty difficult, which I know. So I don't think it's fading away. It's more about, if your skill set is definitely into that, you should be. But the thing is, challenge is, it's a very difficult skill set. So if you're very much dedicated, please be there, be that representative of bringing those culture you talked about in front of the world. And there is a
Yep.
value, definitely, I see going forward.
One personal question. You live in
Yeah.
Hyderabad. You
Yes.
used to live in Kolkata.
Yeah.
Like, which biryani is better?
I
আমাদের
think it's a
বিরিয়ানি না
very,
ওখানে
it's a very controversial question. I don't know. I would definitely say right now Hyderabad, because I have been here for a very long time right now. 5 years in Hyderabad. The thing is, my go-to food is biryani right now. I If I don't able to judge anything, I like, let's order biryani. That kind of a thing. So uh, it's a different taste again. Why you cannot compare? Because it's not one to one. It's a very different taste, both things, which is there. That's how it is different. Like, you cannot compare a product, different product altogether in the same platform. It's the same thing which is there. But I have not eaten Kolkata biryani for a very long time right now. So I don't know.
প্যাক করে বল।
Yeah, I mean, that will be great.
Okay, so we have more questions from the audience. Alisha Jaiswal, she's asking, what's one underrated skill in AI product design that more students should learn? And she has complimented your life journey is inspiring.
Oh, thank you so much. One of the most underrated skill, I think, a lot of people. I keep on going to different conferences, and I know this is a very common question, that what skill set I should learn going forward, which will be more relevant. Uh, I don't know. Somehow my answer is bit different from what the world is talking about. People will say, learn Claude, learn anti gravity, those kind of thing, AI tool. Mine is slightly different. Mine is like, as I was talking about, learn, unlearn, relearn. That's a core value for me, because tomorrow Claude will go away, somebody new will come. Then the question
Yeah.
is, then your skill set will change. So
Mm.
learn that skill set. Learning, unlearning is very important in life. It's not easy. By the way, if people think unlearning is easy, please, it's not. Being 8 9 years in the like industry, unlearning is the difficult thing to do, which is there. And again, the having the mindset of relearning a new tool with time, it's a very difficult and mindset you have to change going forward. So start understanding what is currently being relevant in the market, then try to figure out, is that required for me or not. That's the second checkpoint. Like, for example, you talked about nano banana. There is something called as flow. I don't know how people have used. It's a AI video tool, AI creation video tool. Higgsfield is a very well-known tool in terms of AI video generation. The question is it relevant? I feel no. That's why I don't know those much. I use it for my fun, but not as a daily work process. The second checkpoint is more of, is it relevant or not. The third checkpoint is more of testing the tool. Test it in your workflow. Try to see whether it's, so day one, trust me, it will not save time. If your expectation is, day one I put this tool and in place of 2 hours I'll work in half an hour, it will never going to happen. So put it, give it a try for some time, push yourself, and then see whether with time it's started reducing your time, which is there, like your effort, or maybe too much of manual work into the workflow. If yes to all this checkpoint, then that's relevant for you. That skill set you should definitely learn, which is there. um,
Okay.
when I say saving time, a lot of people talk about, I don't have my personal time because of work and all those things. When AI is giving you, then accept it. Why we are complaining that it's not, and then we complain we don't have time also. So it's a both the things we are playing. So let's start learning. You have extra time, put it in something else. You have a lot of things to do, which is there. That's how I'm looking into it going forward in the future. So that's how it is.
Okay. Another question from Alok Raj. Sir, how did you build your portfolio? Okay, I'm also a fan of your portfolio, sir. I've done it. I have scrolled it tons of time before this interview, and the hover effect is absolutely mind blowing. Like, he's complimenting you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. But I'll tell you a secret behind it. After that, maybe you do not compliment. I don't know. The thing is, I don't know. I started learning new tools day by day. Again, not because I wanted to use it or people are talking, I wanted to give it a hand and try how it's helping me. One of the thing I learned after joining Google is Framer. Framer is a pretty good tool in terms of a very static, fancy 3D kind of a platform to make your website. I would not say portfolio, but website. If you're thinking of e-commerce, I don't know how helpful it is. It will not, because those effect, over effect, and all. It's a very time taking, performance impacted things. So Framer do have launched some of the component which is part of Framer University, and those helps you to create those kind of animation, filtering, those kind of thing. But the thing is how to use it. That's your core value. Like, even if I use a component, maybe somebody cannot create the exact same thing. So I had to
Yeah.
use Nano Banana, figure out a prompt to create the same image into two different, just that the top of the thing goes off, that kind of a thing, and then use it so that the effect comes. So that's the entire process. But the tool helped me in terms of, like, for example, coding. I don't know so much of coding right now, so I don't know what animation and all will go. So it's a built-in component I started using. So like that, the Framer have a lot of different components. It's not only Framer, but there are different tools in the market which is there. But that's how I build my portfolio, and I build it for fun. That's the only motivation for me. Because previously for my job I used to use maybe very common platforms, not a specific my website. But I then, because I started having interest, so I was like, let's learn Framer and figure out those things. So that's how thing happened.
Okay. Like I saw a few of the Framer tutorials. Sometimes I feel that the content creators out there, they kind of show it like how quick it is. Then when I try to get the full video in YouTube, and when I try to make these things in real, they kind of like some midway we get distracted.
Yeah.
So like, how do you keep up with such things? Like, what do you
Yeah.
recommend to the college students?
Yeah, I think it's a very common thing. It's not with Framer, it's with any other tool in the market.
Yeah.
The thing is, as I said, day one, you will not see any savings. You will be struggling with the tool. So the content creator who are making, again, I am one of them. I know I am
Yeah.
making, because we have done it every day for a very long time. It became so easy for us. It's like into the DNA, that if you talk to me like right now, that where is this option, I can just close my eye. I know where this option is present, those kind of things. But the people who are using for the first time, it will be difficult. So let's maybe push for 1 week and try it out, how it's coming up, how it's helping, those kind of thing. And then try to see whether it's helping you or not. Though that's there. So my only recommendation to any college student, uh, patience is the biggest thing which I've seen in designer. You need to be, so be patient for certain time, 1 week, 2 week, whatever time. Try to push yourself in trying and learning it. After that also you don't see kind of a value, move to a different place. But wait for certain time to give you kind of impact. It's the same thing how a product design work. We released in day one in the market, we don't see a spike in day one. When the biggest spike happen in day one, if your product is too bad what you released, that's the biggest spike which I've seen. But if your product is too good, we don't see a spike in day one, unless and until it's created by marketing and all. If it's created by UX, you'll see gradual growth in the product, and eventually it hits a pretty big ground. So that's how things are being there. So yeah, I mean, that's my only recommendation, that just give it a bit of time and like effort, and then you'll figure out how, when exactly it's helpful for you.
Okay, so the follow-up question to this is like a lot of young people get interested in designing. Like a lot of people, like there is Canva, for
Yeah.
example. For the first, like initial designers, they start with Canva, and then if they want this to be like in a passionate way, then they move to Figma. So there's a certain burnout syndrome in designers. I feel that they feel after a certain point of time when they can't achieve those designs or the thing that they have ideated, or the thing that they have thought.
Yeah.
So Like you talked about patience, that's the one thing is there. But what if something that we are ideating and we are not coming up with the solution, or we can't create it? How to figure that out?
Yeah, one of the biggest reason of burnout which I've seen is force fit. When you see something in the market and they're like, this is what I wanted to use because everybody is using. I think that's where I've seen most burnout, because if you're not getting the optimal result, you get very impatient that, hey, I saw it somewhere, it's happening, why it's not happening? Because now you have a benchmark to do. You talked about Canva. If you're into product design, then the question is, does Canva is the right tool? That's the first question you should ask. My answer to it is no, which is that. Now, why no? Because I know Canva is a pretty good tool in terms of marketing collateral, visual design, those kind of a places where, so the tool is built to made it easy, where basically maybe you are a single person or a very small team where you do not have dedicated designer and all, and Canva basically fits into those gaps where you don't have a designer, you know, somebody who knows basic of design skill set and all, and start. Figma is completely different. Like, you will not see a businessman maybe using a Figma to create their own app. It will not. It's always mostly designer or developer or PM, those kind of roles. So it's more of a power user versus a generic user, which is there. So that's the difference. So if you keep on using those tool which doesn't fits into a workflow, you will get burnout. You will not achieve the result which is there. Also, sometimes it's fine that you're not achieving what exactly you thought. It takes some time, as we talked. So it's okay, let's sit in some middle ground, give it a time, try to see it, and then basically which is there. So because you work, like as a designer, we work every day on design. It's bound to happen that there will be at some point where my thinking stops. Like, I have explored all cells of my brain to think of a design, so it happens, it's a very common thing. My thing is that time I need to stop for some time, just go back and think again. That's how it is. Also, that's where reference inspiration help. A lot of people talk about, go and see the best design portfolio or something when you're maybe building a portfolio. My thing is, maybe the worst portfolio also helps you in terms of learning what's the worst part, so that I don't do that in my portfolio, which is there. So it's a reverse learning also. If somebody asks me what is your inspiration in terms of maybe when you're building your portfolio, I went and saw everybody's portfolio wherever it was accessible. I didn't see somebody works at Google, Microsoft, or maybe a very 10-year senior versus 1 year junior. I have seen somebody very college fresh out, amazing portfolio, and then I saw and I was stuck to it. I was like, hey, this component I wanted to build,
Yeah.
and that became my motivation. So I feel that's where it comes from, different places, that where exactly the reference needs to come, where exactly you are getting data, which is there, where exactly you have to stop at the right time. If you keep on, when things are not working, if you keep on pushing, sometime it doesn't work itself, it will just burn you out, it will not. Maybe stop, think what's wrong I am doing because of which it's not happening, and give it a thought, and then again go back. That's my thinking. Saving some, pausing for some time help you to go for a long race. That's what I see. So do that. Take some inspiration, random places. I know we Instagram reel is a very common thing. And I know everybody have joined, definitely everybody knows about reel. It's impossible that you haven't seen a reel or something. The thing is, sometimes I get inspiration from reels also.
Yeah.
And I control. So a lot of people say that Instagram algorithm knows what you want.
Yeah.
I tell Instagram algorithm what I want. If I know that if I want a design related reel for some time, I just go and watch 2 times a design related reel for 30 second or 10 second. Every time I scroll after that, it will give me a design related reels. That's how I change. I want to see some kind of a food place, just see 2 reels of food place, stop there for 30 seconds. Instagram will start pushing that. So it's pretty easy to manipulate the algorithm which is here to manipulate you. That we figure out because we are a designer. I know how a designer have thought while making those algorithm, which is there. It's not, there is some fundamental logic, and then the AI layer sits into it. But the fundamental logic is that what the user is interested seeing, I manipulate those, and get it. So there are different places from where you get it. So I would suggest definitely look into those kind of things also.
Okay. So, like Instagram, you talked about Instagram. Now you have seen a latest feature that has come up. A lot of people have a lot of opinion about it. Good
Yeah.
design, bad design. It's not appropriate. What are your opinions on it?
uh, my opinion is pretty different. I have been using this feature for a very long time, right? A long time in the sense, from the time when it released I keep on using it. um, the question is, I don't know how many people have used Snapchat, and I don't know why people didn't realize it's a copy of, it's the same thing what was there is the time in the Snapchat. It's exactly the same thing, it's nothing new. Why Instagram is doing that? Maybe there is a thing which they know now. They have reached to maybe a saturation place where they know that I have to bring now Snapchat user to my platform to increase my growth. And this is maybe one of the way. When you can't buy the product, you make the product again in yourself, and maybe technically be a better version of the product which is present in the market, so the user moves over here. That's possible. Which is, I don't know what's the thought process of Instagram. Again, whatever I say, there may be a very deep thinking of bringing that feature. uh, it's good to be have some new feature, play around it, work around it. I don't think there is anything wrong and right about it, because what's wrong is already wrong. You have already stories, you have already post and everything. There is nothing, you have already given all the consent. So adding this feature will not bring any privacy problem. You have already into the privacy problem. So that debate is out of the scope. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. You go to message something, peep out from the right, that my eye gives a focus on. The question is, will that move the Instagram platform from a messaging platform, because it sits in the message. Now the thing is, rather than focusing on the message, my focus goes over there. So how they want to pivot, maybe it's a strategy of pivoting. They don't want to be a messenger app kind of a where you message, but like, because they have WhatsApp and all those things, they may want to move more to a Snapchat version. It's good to see. I think it's a very early thing which is there. People have used Thread, right? Thread was, I think, one of the most downloaded app in first 48 hours and user adoption. Today nobody knows, nobody is
Yeah.
going to it. So that's how the product comes. They have some learning around it and then put it. So it's a good thing to have.
Okay. So last question of the day. It's again from the live chat. Someone called Shinigami. He or she has asked, Flow is used in cinematic video generation and too good at its job with JSON prompting. So could you just like elaborate more about Flow? I guess people are interested about knowing
Yeah,
about.
so I have used very limited capability of Flow. Again, maybe I'm not the expert. What I used it for, basically, I have a first frame and the last frame. Again, first frame and the last frame is generated from Nano Banana, and basically give that to the Flow to create the entire video of that length. I have couple of reels around how to use it Flow, but my use of Flow is more from a very generic purpose. This is a generic user. You talked about JSON. JSON is actually a pretty interesting topic, because most of the data works in that format. Like when you connect to an MCP server also, the data of design doesn't, like, the screen doesn't go. It's technically a JSON value goes to the AI and it reinterprets as a design how the canvas is. Flow definitely do have an integration around it, do explore, which is there. My understanding is I do it prompt based, natural language. This is what I have tried to create some of the ads also for few of my friends, and I have seen it's an amazing tool to do it, because the ads which may have taken a lot of money and a shoot, investment of time, that I was able to create with maybe a product image which is there. That kind of uses I have done. So yeah, I mean, Flow is just an example I have given, because I have personally used. But there is something called as Higgsfield, which is very advanced version where you can control the camera, what kind of camera, what angle, what video. There are a lot of things you can control over there. So do use it. But again, as I said, everything is premium version, and after certain 2 or 3 video you will run out of it, which is there. So my so much of money goes into some of the tool, and I was like, what I'm doing. So that's why I figure out what is more useful for me, which is there, and maybe invest there to get the more premium version of that. But yeah, there are different tools in the market. Flow is just an example. Do explore different tool and see what helps you better.
I definitely should have taken some notes if I was not hosting the podcast today. Uh, but then again, I have something like for the viewers out there, we have something to announce. So again, drum rolls. Can we move over to the next slide? It might take a bit of time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're audible. Okay, so I have a last question, sir. Can I just ask? Like, there are a few questions we have missed.
Yeah,
Any, someone has asked Vishwajit Datta, any comments on research work related to building structures like such as 3D home architecture? Like,
it is.
what are your
I don't know. Somehow, a lot of reel throws at me around the building structures and real estate architecture. Technically, 3D, where basically you have a space, put a photo, tell about what you want to build, and then it basically builds it and gives you a very quick. What used to take a lot of time in terms of mock up and showing that kind of a thing. Again, I don't remember the name of the tool. Definitely explore. I think there is there. It's
sir?
not a.
Excuse
Yeah,
me, excuse me. Sorry. Like, I guess we are not audible. Just check once if we can. Like, check once. I guess we are not audible. Yeah. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Yeah. Sir, can you please continue?
yeah. So yeah, definitely look for those tool, which is there in the market. I'm not expert in 3D. I have yet not explored 3D, but I know a lot of my friends do that. Uh, but yes, it's there. I don't think. It's not every segment is kind of exploring AI into it. So there is definitely for architecture, 3D buildings and 3D structure, those kind of thing with AI. I don't know how useful it is, or how good it does in terms of output. My suggestion is definitely like look into it and explore and see if it works. If you know, definitely let me know also. I would definitely like to explore and see.
Okay. Mohit Bhaiya, can you please continue?
I
I
don't
guess
think
you're
he's not audible. So maybe you can, if you know Arunima, please go ahead.
yeah, yeah. So, like, as Mohit Bhaiya is not audible, let me just wrap it up once and for all. We are announcing Muse like on session zero. It is happening after a lot of years. A lot of designers dream to participate in this contest. I am very much sure that every one of you are excited about how the entire process is going to take place. There will be in our community, in our socials, there will be links of Unstop where you can go and find about the details about the session, about the contest. apart from it, I guess we are super excited about news, and we are super excited, sir, to invite you to our college once. Like whenever you are available in Kolkata, we can arrange a meetup. Like
Yeah,
I can see the hype in the live chat about you. I mean, it's seriously, we want to invite you
yeah,
to our
definitely.
college.
Someday if I go, definitely we'll see. I keep on traveling, so let's see.
Yeah, so that's been the end. Thank you, sir, for your presence. We learned a lot from you, and we hope to invite you in person to hold a offline session out here. And also, this was my first session as to host it, so I was a bit nervous. If you can like make
Yeah,
it
that's
like the
that's
audience.
that's completely. I think I still get nervous going to conferences after giving so many conferences, because I think it's good to be a bit nervous. It helps your brain to be active. So it's good to have that small thing which is there. But you did pretty well. YouTube Live is first for me, so I don't know about the infra and all. But today I got to see. I have done always maybe a live session, or maybe a Google Meet, which is there. So yeah, I mean, good to learn this new thing with a conference again.
We also learned OBS Studio in 2 days or 3 days, and then we just came up with the live session. We were also not much sure how to like take it up till now. Then again, it's all good.
Awesome.
So that's it. That's pretty much it. I guess we are about to end now. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you for sticking up till the end. Please do register for Muse. I'm super excited to see the registrations. There will be two rounds. One where we will be doing the submissions, online submissions, and then there will be another round that will be held in our college, Heritage Institute of Technology, on 29th and 30th May. So keep an eye for that. Do register for Muse and keep watching GDGHITK on YouTube. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.